Why automakers are backtracking and their ambitious electric vehicle plans. Could this be a huge mistake? Well, here's why automakers are backtracking, and they're really taking a better look at what they should be making. This backtracking could be a mistake and allowing China to take the lead forever in electric cars. And how does this affect you as a car buyer? Well, you may be surprised that this changing landscape and backtrack is occurring where Americans ever really sold on electric vehicles in the first place? Well, the relatively high cost of electric vehicles, range anxiety, American consumer preference for hybrids are a few factors to blame. Now, Americans were never prepared to embrace electric vehicles at the rate predicted by many industry and government experts. There was a lot of high-profile noise being made from everyone from Elon Musk to environmental groups as they quoted electric vehicle sales on a monthly basis. But when you looked at the change in the market share, it was clear that the process wasn't going all in, and even mostly EVs are going to take decades, if not years, to become a bigger piece of the market. My strong sense of this was validated by an IC Cars study last year, which showed individual markets, meaning cities or states, with more than 7% new electric vehicle market share growing much slower than markets below that threshold. It was obvious getting from 3 to 7% of EV share was much easier than getting 7 to 10%. And customers were interested in trying the new vehicles the media was pushing as hard as the government was, and getting electric vehicle share to 20, 30 or more percent, well, that was clearly a long way off. Could the move from car manufacturers backfire and hurt brands like the Fords and GMs of the world? Would they fall behind in innovation and cede this ground to the Chinese EV makers? The Chinese already have every advantage when it comes to electric vehicles, from controlling the global lithium supply to aligning their government and manufacturer sectors to reduce production costs. The best move for the US automakers is to sell Americans what they actually want: gasoline and hybrid vehicles, while developing their own electric vehicle supply chain within the United States. This will allow U.S. car makers like Ford and GM to maintain sales and profits while funding a more measured and realistic approach to electric vehicles. If domestic automakers and even the European and Asian brands that are selling in the U.S. think a rush approach to electric vehicles will put them on even ground with China, well, they're going to waste a lot of money learning the hard way. Looking at the financials for most automakers' electric vehicle divisions and how many electric vehicles are stacking up on dealer lots, we covered that on a previous episode, you can see that they've already made a big mistake. The only question now is how quickly can they adjust production to reflect the true consumer demand, which means hybrids, gas, and diesel. While other automakers are backtracking, China isn't even fully betting on electric vehicles. They're snatching up internal combustion engine technology that with left-leaning Europe brands they've just left behind foolishly and discarded. Yes, China is hedging its bets, like all smart companies and all smart countries do. Meanwhile, we have the current administration and the supporters of the Green New Deal trying to force a single solution on American citizens. Geely, a Chinese car company, is building around 15 internal combustion engine plants in Europe. They will supply Mercedes, Nissan, Renault, Volvo, and others. No one forced Europeans to abandon this technology, but they lose as China gains. Geely will supply an ultra-efficient 4-cylinder turbo engine. European car executives thought consumers would go fully electric, and as you know, consumers are not as interested as they expected. And after all the brands had planned to transition away from gas and diesel-powered vehicles, Geely will be the one who is selling product in their country. Some brands saw the writing on the wall and predicted correctly. BMW never committed to going all electric, nor did Hyundai, Kia, or Genesis. They continued to offer multiple choices, and Toyota was the most resistant to the transition, and this will prove to be a very smart business deal in the end. The other German car companies, GM and Ford, went fully in on all electric and had future plans to be 100% electric. And now they are backtracking. Not every brand has backtracked yet. Jaguar and Volvo and other brands are still all in on electric, but I think they'll be backtracking soon. Now that most companies are backtracking, this is going to cost them financially in the big picture. Few companies will benefit as the rest of the industry's short-sightedness has impacted their bottom line, and China continues to take more car market share as others had it so wrong. Starting in late 2022, China took over nearly 100% of the Russian car market in a matter of months. Nearly 100% of those cars in turn are ICE, internal combustion engine or gas-powered cars. They're not electric, they're not hybrid, they're just gasoline-powered vehicles. And this has been the source of China's biggest export boon in its history, measuring less than 2 full years. Now this, in itself, is a shot in the foot for the rest of the brands, and others are losing all that income while China is succeeding. The question remains, will companies like Ford, GM, Stellantis, and others who have pulled back investments eventually lose EV market share? And will companies who have kept innovating and spending emerge as the big winners in the eventual EV transformation? We shall see what's happening next. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. If you have any questions or comments, I'll be happy to get involved in the conversation. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee or just stay a little bit longer and find another way to save some money on your cell phone plan. Links for our website, social media, and the book and the podcast are all down in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.